Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have to tell you, my heart has been fluttering like a butterfly in a mason jar ever since I heard the latest whispers coming out of Port Charles. If you have been watching as long as I have, you know that the fall season always brings a chill to the air and a whole lot of heat to our television screens. But this year, the rumors swirling around the water cooler are absolutely explosive. We are talking about deadly secrets, shocking resurrections, and the kind of shadowy government intrigue that keeps us glued to the edge of our seats. The World Security Bureau, or the WSB as we all know it, is about to be blown wide open, and the fallout's going to touch every single family in town. I just cannot shake the feeling that October and November are going to change the landscape of our favorite show forever, and I am so excited to break down every little piece of this puzzle with you. Let us start with the biggest bombshell of them all, a secret so massive it could knock you right off your front porch swing. Our dear Cassius, played by the incredibly handsome Ryan Pavey, is alive. I know I could hardly believe my own ears when the news broke. For the longest time, we were led to believe that Cassius had met a grim and tragic end, a heartbreaking conclusion to a life that was always tangled up in darkness and danger. The thought of him spending the rest of his natural life rotting away in that dreadful Steinmauer prison was a bitter pill to swallow, but death seemed even worse. Yet, in true soap opera fashion, things are never exactly as they appear on the surface. It turns out that the wool was pulled right over our eyes, and Cassius has been out there breathing the same air as the rest of us, hidden away by forces far more powerful than the local police department. And who, you might ask, is the mastermind behind this incredible deception? None other than the mysterious and calculating Z brought to life by the brilliant John Oliver. The word on the street is that a little Easter egg was dropped by the insiders, confirming that Z is making his grand return this fall. I have always felt that Z was like a cat playing with a ball of yarn when it came to the lives of the folks in Port Charles. He faked Cassius's death to give him a way out of that life sentence at Steinmauer, offering him a golden ticket to work for the WSB instead. Now, I do not know about you, but if the devil himself offered me a job to keep me out of a cold, damp prison cell, I might just sign on the dotted line too. Cassius took that deal, trading one kind of captivity for another, and now he is caught in a web of international espionage that is bound to unravel in the most dangerous way possible. My heart simply aches when I think about poor Liesel Obrecht. Bless her heart, that woman has been through the ringer and back again. As a mother, there is absolutely nothing more devastating than losing a child, and Liesel has been carrying that heavy burden of grief every single day. She has been begging, pleading with anyone who will listen just to find out where her son's remains are so she can give him a proper, respectful burial. You can see the raw, unfiltered agony in her eyes, a kind of sorrow that settles deep in the bones. To watch a mother mourn a child who is actually out there running secret missions for the government is enough to make you want to reach right through the television screen and give her a giant hug. When the truth finally comes out and she realizes her tears were shed over an empty grave, the emotional explosion is going to be something we will never forget. And we certainly cannot forget about Britt Westbourne in all of this heartache. Kelly Thibault plays that role with such fiery passion, and you just know that Britt is going to be completely blindsided by this revelation. She and her mother have been leaning on each other, trying to navigate this terrible storm of grief together. Britt has been searching high and low, turning over every stone to find answers about her brother. When she discovers that Cassius is alive and that he has been hiding in the shadows while his family suffered, I expect we are going to see a hurricane of emotions. It will be a messy, beautiful mix of profound relief that her brother is breathing, tangled up with a fierce, burning anger that he let them believe he was gone. Family dynamics are always complicated, but throwing the WSB into the mix makes it a tangled mess of epic proportions. Now, I must warn you, the news is not all sunshine and roses. In fact, there is a very dark cloud rolling in that is going to break a lot of hearts, including mine. It seems that the charming and rugged Jack Brennan, played by Chris L. McKenna, is going to meet his maker this fall. I know, it is a tough pill to swallow. Brennan has become such a fan favorite, a man who always seems to be holding his cards close to his chest. But When you play with fire in the world of the WSB, you are bound to get burned, and it looks like Brennan's luck has finally run out. His impending death is said to be the match that lights the powder keg of this entire WSB storyline. It makes perfect sense that Z would step back into the picture right as Brennan is taken off the board, sweeping in to clean up the mess, or perhaps claim his ultimate victory. The writing has been on the wall for a while now. If you know how to read the tea leaves, just think back to that incredibly tense scene at the Metro Court pool. I was holding my breath the entire time. Brennan walked right into the middle of a deeply personal moment between Drew Kane and the always fabulous Ava Jerome. The tension in the air was thicker than molasses in January. Brennan did not just interrupt them, he practically threw down the gauntlet, making enemies out of people you really do not want on your bad side. He even made a chilling comment about turning the tables, a classic foreshadowing moment that sent shivers down my spine. When you go around making threats in a town like Port Charles, especially to heavy hitters like Drew and Ava, you are practically painting a giant target on your own back. But the danger does not stop there, my friends. Hold on to your hats, because the word is that our beloved Anna Devane might be heading down a very dark and twisted path. Finola Hughes has always portrayed Anna as a strong moral compass, but the rumors suggest she might actually be planning to kill Britt. Lord have mercy, I never thought I would see the day when Anna Devane would cross that kind of line. It feels like she is losing her grip on reality, drowning in the murky waters of her own past mistakes and the pressures of the WSB. It makes you wonder who is going to step up and save Anna from herself. If she goes through with this terrible plan, there will be no coming back. This terrifying situation with Anna and Britt could very well be the catalyst that forces Cassius and Z to finally step out of the shadows and intervene. As if the international espionage and murder plots were not enough to keep us busy, we also have a massive corporate scandal brewing right in our own backyard. The whole situation over at Jack's Enterprises is turning into a three-ring circus, and it is tying directly into the WSB chaos. Jasper Jacks, in a move that absolutely baffles my mind, has decided to appoint his daughter Jocelyn as the CEO of the company. Now, I love Jocelyn. She is a bright and spirited young woman. But putting someone with zero real-world corporate experience in charge of a massive global empire, that is a recipe for an absolute disaster. It is like handing the keys of a sports car to a teenager who just got their learner's permit. You just know it is going to end in a terrible crash. Jack Brennan has been sniffing around Jack's Enterprises, investigating the strange goings-on, and I firmly believe this is what ultimately leads to his tragic downfall. Brennan knows that things are not adding up at JJE. Why would Jax make such a reckless decision? What is he trying to hide behind his daughter's innocent face? The WSB is clearly using the corporation as a front for something much more sinister, and Brennan is getting too close to the truth. Corporate espionage mixed with government secrets is a dangerous cocktail, and unfortunately, Brennan is the one who is going to end up paying the ultimate price for taking a sip. It just goes to show that in Port Charles, the boardroom can be just as deadly as a dark alley at midnight. And we cannot overlook the smaller puzzle pieces that are slowly falling into place. Have you noticed how Hudson Parker is suddenly popping up in all the right places? He is not just wrapped up in the Jack's Enterprises mess, he is also deeply entangled in whatever is going on with Delilah Wilson and little Phoebe Chase. The writers are leaving breadcrumbs all over the place, dropping these delightful little Easter eggs for those of us who pay close attention. It is like a giant, beautiful tapestry being woven right before our eyes. Every glance, every whispered conversation, every hidden file is leading up to this massive crescendo in the fall. Hudson, Delilah, and Phoebe might seem like they are on the edges of the story now, but you can bet your bottom dollar they are going to be right in the thick of it when Z makes his grand entrance. As we look ahead to the crisp autumn months, I just know we are in for the ride of our lives. The return of Cassius and Z is going to shake the very foundations of Port Charles, bringing long-buried secrets into the harsh light of day. We are going to shed tears for Liesl and Britt. We are going to mourn the loss of Jack Brennan, and we are going to hold our breath, praying that Anna Devane finds her way back to the light. This is the kind of storytelling that reminds me why I have loved this show for so many years. It is about family, betrayal, redemption, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. I will be right here on the edge of my seat, watching every single moment unfold, and I cannot wait to come back and discuss every shocking twist and turn with all of you wonderful ladies. Keep your eyes peeled, because the best is yet to come.